Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the success strategist, and we're bringing you today in week 15 of our Spotlight on Success, 4 tips for building and sustaining a culture of innovation. You've heard us talk about across the first 3 months and a week of our 2024 different ways that you as entrepreneurs and leaders can not only launch your business but scale successfully to optimize your outcomes and results by just doing a few core things. And what is at the absolute crux of that is the 3 keys to entrepreneurial success, and that's vision, mindset, and excellence. We need to have a well-defined and compelling vision. We need to have a growth-oriented mindset that encourages adaptability, resilience, and a willingness to face challenges and undertake continuous learning. And then we need to be focused on excellence in entrepreneurship, because it's about innovation, quality, customer service, and leadership. And so today we're building on one of those core linchpin areas, innovation. Now, when we think about innovation, a lot of us just automatically go to technology, but innovation is so much more. Innovation is about the way we lead. Innovation is about the way we plan. Innovation is about the way that we apply our governance framework. Innovation is about how do we handle uncertainty and risk. Innovation is about, of course, the technological advances. Innovation is about the processes and the process improvement and continuous improvement. Innovation is about really this entire balanced portfolio of moving from current state to future state in alignment with your strategy and your mission to optimize your outcomes. And so we'll look at the different facets today of what does it take when we say building and sustaining a culture of innovation, because that's truly what it is needed to keep innovation alive. We don't want innovation to die within our teams, within our organization, or within how we're approaching the products and services and intellectual capital that we're putting out there in the ecosystem. We want innovation to live and thrive in our organization. So that and what is most key is you as a business leader, you as an entrepreneur, you as a team lead, you as a middle manager, you as a partner, a customer, a client, right? It's so important that you advocate for innovative thinking, right? It's not that we have to put in place this very heavy innovation framework that people get resistant to and balk at. It's about every day in every way, sprinkling a little bit of innovation and magic dust across our organizations. And it starts with you. So first and foremost, we have to understand as a leader, as an entrepreneur, what does innovation mean to me? How am I going to take on that charge? How am I going to walk that talk? How am I going to live that? How am I going to express that to the people most important internally and externally to my organization? What kind of strategic comms do I need? Do I need a tagline? Do I need some type of program? Do I need an innovation lab? Do I just need to start doing it? Right? So it's really up to you how mature innovation is in your organization already, how mature innovation program or innovation management elements are in your strategic framework, in your business planning, in your operational and tactical rollouts. And then if there's a gap between what you're currently experiencing today and what you want to be experiencing in the future, what you want to be not only experience, but advocating and championing force, because you know that it will optimize your outcomes and your results across all 3 rungs or legs in our people, process, technology triad. So innovation is a cross-cutting enabler because it helps us think differently. It helps us get outside of our box. It helps us learn how to respect the value that continuous improvement and leapfrog inventions and new business models will bring, not only to our organization, but to the customers and clients that we serve. So first and foremost, your mindset with regard to innovation, the level of drive that you have with regard to promulgating it, and then the level of robustness, at least to put a couple goalposts down towards your journey or evolution to harnessing greater amounts of innovation. The next is you have the desire, you have the intent. Now we have to put in place a framework to help you operationalize that, to actualize on that. And that's really where the power of examining innovation through the lens of strategy and mission occurs. So we want you, as you're thinking about your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year strategy, and as you're putting in place your 1 year operational plan, that to go from ideation to execution, we need to define what that looks like. We need to plan and put a pin in certain time intervals and certain initiatives, right? So A is, hey, we may want to define what the different forms of ideation could take. What does that look like if we do light? What does that look like if we do heavy? What does that look like if we do medium? And then to what do we want to apply that? Are we applying that to the organization writ large for internal initiatives, or are we primarily focused on the products and services and thought leadership or intellectual capital that we're serving up externally? You decide where you want to prioritize. Sometimes it's easier to pilot it internally before you move externally, but sometimes board and or other investors will seek to see that external focus or locust in order to drive monetary financing to undertake some of this. So you have to walk this balancing act between the two. The next is, how do you include tools and methodologies, right? We have design thinking, we have agile practices, we have new business and lean startup models, right? So we want to, it's ideal if we can think of innovation through the lens of all of those, right? Again, people, process, technology. Our starting point is our strategy and our strategic framework. The next layer is our mission. The next layer is our outcomes, results, goals, and objectives, targets, metrics, measurements, and the automation that go around serving that, right? Because that tells us, are we on course, off course, or hitting it all out of the park? The next thing, once we've committed to innovation and we've established an innovation framework, this is where we need to do the cultural work that enables us to really harness diverse perspectives through focusing on the outcomes and the results, and not devolving into the conflict that can sometimes arise, right? So we have to understand that when we bring diverse perspectives to the table, when we go through ideations, there's going to be forcing functions, forcing for and constraining functions against. And we need to hire or get the right facilitation mechanisms in place to balance those, right? We want the big thinkers, the ideators up front, right? And we want devil's advocates, but we don't want them till later, right? We don't want them constraining what is in the realm of possible, right? So we want to gather what's in the realm of possible. We want to make sure that that's diverse across people, process, technology. We want to Use open communication. Again, that specialized facilitation just goes so far in ensuring that we don't shut down the idea generation. We don't shut down the potential value add. We don't shut down the generation of new ideas. Then we're going to be looking at, let's take that strategic framework and let's take that, what we've said is our priorities for a certain time interval. And now let's do collaboration. Let's get that devil advocate's view and to say, okay, how can we best align the ideas and innovations to these? Are we going for revenue enhancements? Are we going for cost efficiency savings? Are we going for leapfrogging the competition? Are we going for complete disruption, right? We're going to take a different tact, and we're going to use different techniques and tips and tools to move us forward depending on what we're after. And then we also need to look at across, right? It's not a one and done. We've done this. We've gathered our people. We've come up with this stuff. We've put something in motion. What we want to be doing is creating an ecosystem, creating a sustainable process that helps us do this all the time, so that whenever we could just push a button and say, bingo, new ideas in X area, right? So the better we get at this with regard to scoping, and the better piloting we could do to help us scale, the better we get at real-time capabilities that help us pivot when we need to the most. And then last but not least, after commitment to innovation, establishing an innovation framework, fostering an open and inclusive culture is about rewarding and recognizing innovation. And that's really this bolstering effect, right? We want to empower, we want to recognize, we want to help move things into momentum. And the way we go about doing that is through recognizing and rewarding these innovation efforts across teams and organizational units, or the organization writ large, right? They could include awards, they could include spotlights in communications, they could include things like bonuses, tangible rewards, right? But the important thing is that we're doing that. When we're creating this innovation framework, that portion of it is included, because that's a momentum gainer. That is a reinforcement mechanism that drives awareness and further engagement, that provides incentives to keep going. And so for all those reasons, right, it's important for us to understand this building and sustaining a culture of innovation in totality, so that we can put our ducks in order to help us get there. So no matter where you are starting at today, no matter how big your organization is, if you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur with extensive workforce, and or contractors, to a small size business, medium size business, large size business, there's going to be an innovation initiative and program that's ready made for you. I invite you today to think about how you like to commit to organization, how you'd like to commit to innovation for your organization, how you would like to stand up for creation of an innovation framework, how you would like to embody and embed that in your organizational culture, and then how are you going to recognize and award and reward innovation when it's happening, so you can scale further faster. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell again, bringing you week 15 of our Spotlight on Success, and inviting you to see the power of innovation as you move forward. Join us again next week for week 16 as we move along this journey of Spotlight on Success for our business leaders and entrepreneurs across the globe.